Back in the beginning of her career, Christina Aguilera was working overtime. In just over a year, she dropped 3 entire albums: her self-titled debut, her Spanish album Mi Reflejo, and her Christmas album, My Kind of Christmas. The girl was trying to grab every possible audience she could, which explains why she was such a breakout star. While her first 2 albums were stacked with hits and are well remembered today though, My Kind of Christmas remains somewhat under the radar, not really getting the same recognition other holiday albums get. This is a shame, because My Kind of Christmas is a genuinely well done album that does enough to make it stand out in a fairly repetitive genre. Comprised mostly of covers with a few original tracks thrown in, the album blends your expected traditional Christmas music with big band, R&B, and dance pop influence. Christina really gets to show off her pipes, especially on her cover of Oh Holy Night, which sounds appropriately divine with its gospel choir and moving production. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas is another highlight, and probably my favorite version of the song. The low-key piano and string instrumentation, mixed with Christina's powerful but restrained vocals, make it truly beautiful. Her cover of This Christmas is also probably my favorite version of that song. The jazzy production makes it so much fun to throw on at a party, or to have playing in your car while you're doing your Christmas shopping. But it's really Christina's upbeat performance and incredible vocals that make this one stand out. I wish it was released as a single. I could see it getting tons of radio play even nowadays. I guess it was released as a promotional single in Japan in November 2023, which is really cool, I guess, but why'd it take 23 years? And why only in Japan? Who knows? The only actual single from this era was the Christmas song, which was actually released roughly a year before the album, in November 1999, making it one of her earliest singles. It's a great cover, though I still do prefer the Nat King Cole original. Christina's version peaked at number 18 on the US Hot 100, which makes it the second highest charting version of the song, behind Nat King Cole's version, which peaked at number 9. There's also a dance remix of the song that serves as the album's closing track, and it goes off. It's not the most high-energy, intense dance track or anything, but it is super fun, and is perfect for a friend's Christmas party, especially if you have some spiked eggnog. My favorite cover is definitely These Are the Special Times, which is a cover of the Celine Dion song. This should be a Christmas staple. It's so cozy, heartwarming, and sentimental. I've definitely cried to it a few times before. It's the perfect amount of cheesy without getting too saccharine, hitting all the right beats to make a perfect Christmas song, and it sucks that no one really knows about it. We're constantly inundated with the same Christmas standards year after year. Can't we just add this one to the lineup? Evidently, Christina also recorded a cover of the song Climb Every Mountain from The Sound of Music, but it didn't end up making the track listing and remained unreleased. Her cover of Silent Night was also recorded for the album, but ended up being included on the compilation album Platinum Christmas. While the cover songs are all excellent, the best tracks are the original ones in my opinion. The album opens with Christmas Time, which is a fast-paced, fairly dramatic track, complete with bells, strings, carolers, and Christina's liveliest performance on the record. If you took out the holiday theming, it would honestly just be a great pop song. Same goes for This Year, which I talked about in my underrated Christmas songs video, but I still gotta give it its flowers here. This Year is my favorite song from My Kind of Christmas. I love how she uses seasonal theming and imagery to describe her relationship, and the understated production gives the song a cool, laid-back vibe. These 2 songs are a really interesting piece of Christina's career. In 2000, she was mainly known as a bubblegum teen pop act, which wasn't exactly the genre she wanted to be in. Christmas Time and This Year, however, draw influence from hip-hop and R&B, a whole 3 years before she incorporated those genres into her 4th album, Stripped. I always saw these songs as prototype Stripped songs. If you took out the Christmas theming and changed the lyrics up, they really wouldn't sound out of place on that album. In addition to this, the penultimate track is an interlude called Xtina's Xmas, and for those who don't know, Xtina was the alter ego she took on for the Stripped era. The girl dancing in those assless chaps, that's Xtina. I'm not 100% sure about this, but to my knowledge, this was the first time the Xtina nickname was used in any official Christina Aguilera project. She may have referred to herself using that name before, but the general public didn't latch onto it until the Stripped era, so it's crazy to think the name we associate with the badass, rebellious, and dirty persona she's known for made its debut here. Again, as far as I know, because there may have been some press releases or magazine articles that used that nickname before, but this is the earliest usage I can find. Overall, My Kind of Christmas is a perfect album for the holiday season. It manages to sound traditional and familiar while still being fresh and modern, and it doesn't sound outdated at all despite being over 2 decades old. I don't know if I'd say it's my favorite Christmas album, but frankly that's only because I've never really given much thought to that. I don't consciously listen to that much Christmas music in December, just because I naturally hear it out in public or on shows and movies anyways. But if I am ever in the mood for some merriness, this is definitely one I go back to.